No one's here yet. Should we start anyway?
Start the show. I'm not staying here all day.
Okay. Welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. Here's your host, Shyzabox.
Oh, they love me. Get out of here. And the horse you rode in on. Well, you might be saying to yourself, Shyzabox, you're not even ready for the show. Why are you started? Don't worry about it. We showed up today. Speaking of which, did we make it before noon? That's the question. Hey, management, we're here before noon, so clock us in and fix that. Excellent. Well, believe you me, we have got a show for you today, and you might be saying, don't do the show. No, we have to. You might be saying, no, you don't. No, we do. And believe you me, it's not often that we like to do the show when we're not ready to do the show. And that just happens when that's how it happens. But that's neither here nor there. That's the point of this. You can never be completely ready to take on that of life's endeavors and things that it throws at you when you're not ready to do such, right? You might be saying like, oh no, Shyzabox, sure you can. Well, yeah, you can. You can say that you're always ready for it, always prepared for it, always good to go, things of that nature. But alas, it's not how it works. You can say you're good to go all you want, but that is not going to solve the problem for you. Well, you might be a little upset, okay? But just because that's not how the problem's solved doesn't mean that you can't work a little bit. Okay, you want something for nothing, right? No. See, that's not how the world works. Don't get angry at us. Believe you me, we wanted everything to work out and we just get stuff for free. But no. Apparently, people don't want to just give us stuff for free. Hey! So, lo and behold, we had to get to work. And you might be saying, get to work at McDonald's. Make my food. What now? Just because you want us to do what we're trained best for doesn't mean we're going to do that. See, good old Shyzabox took it upon himself to call dibs, Daryl Dixon dibs, if you don't know what we're talking about, because you might not be familiar with a little show called The Walking Dead. Okay, now, The Walking Dead's a little show. No matter. About zombies or something. I don't know. They always get kidnapped, and then by the end of the season, they got to free themselves, right? But that's beside the point. Point is that The Walking Dead, there's this guy, Daryl Dixon, right? He's the hot one, right? The dangerous one. Everyone wants to be around Daryl the Dixon, right? So that's why we did too, obviously. Yes, laughter warranted. It was pretty funny. So we called Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst. The internet has the offer. And you might be saying, well, you're definitely the worst. Nah, exactly. We're the best of the worst. Excellent. Well, now that that's settled, let's do what we're here to do. End the stream? No. Pick something else to watch? If you got something better, please share it with everyone. 69 Night. Number 1 purple. I don't know what that is, but that's great. Excellent. So anyhow, let's talk Halloween. You might be saying, no, we want to pay you for Kickstarter. What? Oh, man. Well, if you wanted us to get right to Kickstarter, why didn't you say so? Well, yeah, of course you can get one of the signed copies of our books and the optional 3D printed button. Yes. But we know you want to really talk Halloween. So, let's talk Halloween. It's right around the corner. Have you been seeing all of the costumes that are options in the stores with which offer them as costumes and such? You might be saying, yeah, I look at them all the time. Or, no, I don't go shopping. But, believe you me, both of those apply to whoever they apply to. And you could be one or the other of them. Okay? You either do look at them or you don't. Point is that whether you do or don't look at them, you're going to be seeing these dudes come to your house and knock on your door. Unless you're super rich, maybe like, a multi-billionaire and you got like a gate and stuff like that. You're like, no trick-or-treaters this year again. Thank God, right? It's like, I don't need those little rapscallions coming by and trying to suck and siphon off my billions of dollars by getting ones of pieces of candy at a time. Blah. I'd have to hire someone to hand that shit out, right? Or have my butler or maid or janitor or servant or, driver or cook or chef or personal hygienist or, whatever. I mean, multi-billionaires, they got all sorts of stuff, right? Now, you laugh, and yes, I mean, it is pretty funny. But, ironically, they have that stuff, so they could really get anyone to do it. What is this guy talking about? Well, we're talking about Halloween, but before that we were peddling wares. Depends on where you accidentally came in when you were looking for a good show, because believe you me, if you were looking for a good one, Jabelli, this probably isn't it. Whoops. If you find something better, come back and put the link in the chat so everyone else can leave too. Believe you me, it does not get better than this. We're just here having a cup of joe, talking a little bit of Halloween shenanigans, while we sip from the skulls of our enemies that we have crushed beneath us. What was that? I don't know. Better cleanse the air just in case. Takes 3. Excellent. All right, good. Now that we're all recentered, let's go ahead and check in on this other ones of chat that came in. Do you like Heartstopper? No, I don't know who that is, but we did have a Slayer CD some chick in the 9th grade ripped off from us. It was Divine Intervention, I think. And yeah, this chick's like, oh, can we borrow the CD? Blah, blah, blah. She wasn't our friend. But, we gave her the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe she is truly a Slayer fan. Fucking poser. She didn't even like Slayer, probably. She probably tried to impress some guy. Wasn't us. But she did impress us by stealing our fucking CD. So, believe you me. No. That's messed up. That's messed up, yeah. Anyhow, yeah, we were out of CD. That sucks. Original copy, too. Great artwork in that one. Crazy artwork. Maybe she was just crazy. Who knows? I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, we were talking all sorts of stuff. I don't know who Heartstopper is. If they're a band, we haven't listened to them. But, God, it sounds like the name of an album by The Loved Ones. But we're just probably, like, looking at the picture and thinking Heartstopper or something, like just thinking, I don't know, or Alkaline Trio. Kind of just visual picture of their album, not an actual name of their album, especially Alkaline Trios, but no matter. But it does, we do equate The Loved Ones with that somehow, way, shape, or form. Irrelevant. If Heartstopper is a band, though, we'll happily check them out. We always dig new tunes and new music and things of that nature, so we're never opposed to listening to, believe it or not, anything and everything, especially the new Taylor Swift. Oh, remarkable. Haven't you heard it? Amazing. No, I hate Taylor Swift. You're missing out. New album's great, or okay, or good, or it sucks. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Point is that we were talking Halloween before, and we got sidetracked by whatever Heartstopper is. So maybe that's eating a lot of candy at once, and it literally does what it does say within its name itself. In which case, no, we're not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. In fact, give us broccoli or some lettuce that we should start throwing at problems galore, surely. But believe you me, well, that's not nutritional advice for anyone to undertake in any way, shape, or form. We're just trying to equate all of the basis of which the comment with in here could reside. But needless to say, we have covered those bases that exist. So let's go back to Halloween. You see the costumes, you don't see the costumes, you like to see them, you don't like to see them. Maybe you hate Halloween. Maybe you're like, only heathens celebrate Halloween. That's not true. We were a heathen once, but, we're not really a heathen anymore. We haven't been a heathen for some times. Sometimes. Probably both applicable. Doesn't matter. The point is that, you can deduce any type of heathenistic type of attributes to all sorts of lifestyles and endeavors. And if we were gorging ourselves on a plethora of candy before, believe you me, still sounds delicious, but we probably shouldn't do that. Probably not a good idea, but it does sound delicious. Fight those inner demons, right? Anyhow, what the hell is this guy talking about? Nah, it doesn't matter. We're talking about Halloween, and you see the costumes, you don't see the costumes. You go to the stores. If you go to those ones that pop up of the spirit of the Halloween and things of that nature, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, look at all of these cardboard constructed cutouts they put together intricately to wow the masses. And believe you me, we are wowed ourselves. Those are some fantastic designs and set pieces and things of the sort and nature with which they provide all of the patrons of their establishment. Some really fantastic and remarkable display pieces and set pieces that you can walk through, go through, and they are fantastic year after year after year. How Spirit of Halloween has the opportunity and the time and the capacity to do all of this and prevent all of these great displays is not beyond us. I mean, they have a lot of time to really kind of kick around and like mess with all the boxes that come in. Like, hey, dudes, we better make a display and start setting the stuff up. We got a lot of businesses to take over here. Let's start looking on, the little realty site as well to see what kind of businesses have gone out of business within the last 13 hours. Let us buy them all. And that's what they do. They open up shop for, a month and provide their wares. Believe me, their set pieces are fantastic. Again this year. Little Subway set piece that we've seen in one of the shops that we've gone in, and it was awesome. Believe me, that store outdoes itself. Fantastic store. Anyhow, you might be saying, did they sponsor you? No, but they should have. Go buy one of our books, Spirit of Halloween. It's like, I don't know, however much it is. Go to Kickstarter. Go to Amazon and buy one of our other books. We buy any of them. Doesn't matter. We got all sorts of books for you to buy. Buy them, don't buy them. You should probably buy them. Anyhow, where were we? Yes, Halloween. So you see the costumes, you don't see the costumes, There's all sorts of stuff that you might be able to, kind of see that the culture is shaped around if you take the time to look, okay? If you go through things like Target or Walmart and you look through their Halloween costumes, their Halloween sections, you see where people are geared towards. This year we saw a lot of kind of knockoff Five Guys at Freddy's kind of masks and things of that nature. We also saw a lot of food items and things of that nature. Tacos, you still got hot dogs, which have been something for some time, but you have additional things, avocados, you got, charcuterie boards and such. They've really taken it to a further level within the intricacies of people's own personal tastes when it comes to a representational item of them for Halloween. And what better way than to focus on taste, because you scrapped all of the cool costumes like, I don't know, cool costumes, right? Because you're not allowed to have cool costumes, except for the cool ones, which you are allowed to have. You usually got to make those yourself. But anyhow, that's beside the point. There's a lot of great offerings nowadays, and the props, oh, believe you me, the props are through the roof. You got all sorts of accompaniment to go with costumes nowadays. But believe you me, something we learned as a kid, and this was back when you're pillow sack racing, so everyone, we did at least, we trick-or-treated till we were approximately 21 years old, so 22. We trick-or-treated up until we were 21 years old before we stopped trick-or-treating, obviously, because that's when you finally grow up, become an adult. And the government says, hey, you're an adult now, even though you could have enlisted in the military when you were 18. Died for your country. Carried it doesn't matter. You're not an adult then. Obviously, you're just a killing machine that they train and raise. Obviously, country needs those. Good job, man. Anyhow, point is, what the hell? I don't know. Blame the military. They're not old enough to drink yet. You can't have those kids running around with alcohol. Just guns. Train them to use them really well, too. Maybe in some ordnance and stuff as well. I don't know. Do some push-ups. Strengthen. Endurance. Conditioning. Yes, all important. Anyhow, the point is that now the props that accompany costumes and things like that you can get with which to accompany your costume that you get We learned at an early age, when you had your pillow sacks, when you were running from house to house, knocking on doors, ringing doorbells, swiping other kids' bags when you ran by in the middle of a dark alleyway. What? Thanks for doing. Anyhow, we didn't do that. The point is that you got your candy that you totally didn't take from someone else. Not right. Totally not right. Very wrong. Don't do that. You got your bag. You're like, oh man, this is getting pretty full. But I can't ditch my giant sorcerer's wand or medieval sword or staff or nunchucks or whatever you got that's occupying your hands, right? Say you're a maraca player for Halloween. Okay, now obviously we don't just portray one, we are one, obviously. So it's hard to trick or treat while you're holding these and trick or treat, and you got a bag that's getting heavy and all night. And it's like, oh, let's go to this Halloween party. And it's like, oh, I'm a maraca player. They're like, oh, that's really awesome. We love it. Right. And you got your, bag of candy and stuff. And you're like, yeah. And you're like, let me go ahead and, this party's great. You don't got pockets or nothing on your costume. You don't know where to put your maracas. You're like, you're thinking of setting them down, but people are going to start messing with them and probably steal them, stuff like that, because people, right? Whatever, Maybe a little longer reenactment than it needed to be, but not really. Okay. The point is that if you have something that correlates with your costume that occupies your hands, things of that nature, you need to consider alternative means and ways of accounting for that item. Are you going to be able to store it in someone's purse or backpack later? Is there a vehicle that someone will have with which you can be like, hey, can I throw this shit in the car so I don't got to mess with it? And, no one will really steal it unless they break into your car, which sucks way more worse for you than me. So I don't care at that point. Maybe they're breaking into your car to steal them. In which case, whoops. Anyhow, forgive and forget, right? Point is, then you're out a pair of fucking maracas. You got to get another pair. Yeah, sure. Funny. All fun and games till you got to come up with the funds, right? Got to come from somewhere. Friend blames you. You better start writing a bunch of damn books. Be like, yeah, of course I'm going to get that money to you eventually. As soon as people buy them. Or go to the Kickstarter and get a signed copy of a book in a custom 3D printed button that says shite. I mean, fantastic, right? Or, whatever. Get any book that you want to pay for. Or not. Whatever. Point is that Halloween can bring about some crazy times, some crazy things. And your friends can blame you all sorts of ways, shapes, and forms for why their car got broken into. Anyhow, overall, Halloween's fantastic because you get candy. Sometimes. Unless you're too old for Halloween candy. But, believe you me, if someone else has some, they offer it to you, then you do get some. Or, believe you me again, if you're that old enough, just get your own candy, right? Anytime you want. Fuck it, I'm having bad candy for dinner. But then, you're back to square one with the Do You Like Heartstopper, right? Is that a band? Or is that eating a whole bag of candy for dinner? Either way, doesn't sound like the way to go, but you never know. So, what else was on that thumbnail? What did we make? Oh, yes, Halloween. Yeah, no, pretty much, yeah. And Peddling Wares asking for your money. Check. All right, cool. We just hang out and kind of drink our go juice now. So if you got something that you want us to talk about, feel free to throw it in the chat of the box. Otherwise, feel free to not, and we will commence with consuming the rest of this and talking about probably more of our wares, if we're being honest, because what else is there to peddle? We could peddle the idea of what people want to be for Halloween. Okay, sure, that's more fun. No one wants to buy our books, right? No one wants a signed copy and a custom 3D printed button that says shite, right? Can't see it, it's reversing backwards. Don't worry about it. Point is that fine, we'll talk Halloween costumes. Okay, we talked about the options that are given to people with which they can have on hand, with which they can utilize, right? They can do whatever they feel like with, okay? They can have all sorts of fun with it, all right? The point is that what inherently is the new normal want, okay, for the costumes on the market, right? Like we talked about the charcuterie board, the avocado, right? There's some really intricate custom food offerings on the market. You just buy the costume. Hey, there's still the occasional Paw Patrol, puppy dogs, things of that nature that you can see on the market. All sorts of random stuff. Check with management. Hey, what else is on the market? Yeah. Go to the store and find out. All right, it's going to take them a sec. They're going to go to the store and see what else is out there. But believe you me, if there's one thing that we never would have accounted for, ever, in the entirety of Halloween, its offerings, the endeavors around it, is how big the options would become as far as the decorative art, as far as the, land ornaments and things of that nature that you can see, the blow-up inflatables, the equivalent of all of the Christmas offerings or, other holiday offerings that offer the giant inflatables, things of that nature. Some phenomenal and remarkable stuff is out there. Really fantastic, giant, eye-catching things, and people go all out with their displays and their set pieces and everything like that. A lot of people go entirely all out and just year after year make it better and better and better. And it's one of the most fantastic things that, one can encounter if they're going about driving around, walking around, trick-or-treating itself, still trick-or-treating because it's a means to get at least dessert for the week, because no one's buying your books and stuff, whatever. Point is that, you could, in essence, get some good free candy. Terrific. Or, you got to work for it. You got to say trick or treat, all that, go door to door, or you find the people who aren't caring enough, and they leave their basket, bowl out, and you're just like, oh, take one, please. And, of course, you'd only take one, because it's wrong to take it all. Believe you me, all those cameras that are set on stuff nowadays, we know who you are. You better have a really good costume on if you want all that candy. Disguise yourself. A lot of people don't take the time. Just help themselves to the entire bowl. But, people are raised differently nowadays. I don't know if that's necessarily funny, but believe you me, Internet, you laugh at what you will. That's fine. Yes. The unfortunate circumstances of others. Man. When people deprive children of their, just things. Internet, you disappoint us sometimes. We want you to buy our book. You never help us. They're available on Amazon.com too. That's fine. Okay, we get it. You don't like to read. Okay, that's fine. Or some of you do like to read. Obviously. That's why we have all sorts of books that we wrote. Peddle our wares for. All right? Fantastic. Read one or all. Or just buy them as gifts for people. Here you go. Present. Fantastic. Anyhow, where were we? Talking something about Halloween or some aspect or component of it, but believe you me, we totally sidetracked ourselves with all of that greatness that we sidetracked ourselves with. You might be saying, what was great about it? Nah, don't worry about it. It's too great to know or account for now. But if you rewind it, the greatness isn't even there anymore. It was a fading greatness, and in retrospect, it's not even as great as it once was. But believe you me, in the moment, extremely great. So you missed it. That's too bad. But, some semblance of it can be ascertained or picked up from in, subsequent view or things of that nature. Just not as impactful. Kind of a resonantial kind of, subsistence of it. Okay, yeah, good. Well, at least there's something for you. So, where were we indeed is when people see these display set pieces, these giant endeavors people undertake with which to entertain those that partake in Halloween and things of that nature, there really are some fantastic offerings on the market nowadays. You can drive down and see entire themed out, sets and things of that nature. Everyone's Nightmare Before Christmas, or everyone's, spiders or witches, or everyone has Mickey Mouse dressed as, a witch or something like that, or the wizard and such, and they have a whole display piece with Pluto and a pumpkin and stuff. I mean, fantastic stuff, right? All sorts of Halloween stuff exists that's out there now on the market that back in the day never was. Even the decorations that once were, if you had a very intricately decorated component or aspect to a scene, it was usually very well contained and in something like a haunted house or in an endeavor that you would take upon like that. A smaller set piece, never grandiose on a whole yard scale. And if it was very rare, and they were all DIY homemade stuff, and it was usually fantastic. Okay, you started getting people making their own gravestones and grave sites and throwing little arms and hands and such. And hell, we even had a couple nice little endeavors and runs where we would make little stuffed dummies and things of that nature, but never to the grandiose scale and complete potential that they themselves have gotten to now. Nowadays, you have people that can go and just buy a couple big inflatables, and it's an entire visual, kind of thing to undertake and take on and watch as you're going around looking at, decorations, things of that nature, participating or partaking in the Halloween experience itself. The set pieces and the decorations from nowadays compared to what they were have exponentially grown in their offerings. Now you might be saying, well, obviously, Shyzalosophy, that's because these companies want to make billions and billions of more dollars. And believe you me, you're right, Internet. You are right. They do. All of these companies that started marketing and selling these giant inflatables for Christmas and, Easter and St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, really any of them, Halloween, why not as well? Halloween, arguably, even more arguable for the necessitation of giant inflatables and things of that nature, because it's that, one night, and you only get a couple weeks, maybe a month or whatever tops if you're really into it, of adequately decorating without, totally looking out of place the rest of the year. Sure, you can leave things like Christmas lights up or anything like that until, the summer, and people are just like, there's that house, right? Or, those people, don't ever play with them, Timmy. That's Shyzalosophy's house. Hey! Little delayed, Internet. Little delayed. Anyhow, the point is that, the things that are offered obviously were added to where they were missed out on. So were giant inflatable reindeer and snowmen and things of that nature were being sold around Christmas. Obviously, why not sell giant pumpkins and ghosts and skeletons at Halloween? And people love some of that stuff so much. Why don't you add the computerization components of it? Okay, nowadays you can sync up music and things of that nature to skeleton rock bands and everything to where they play along, and the lights will actually correspond, rhythmically in one way, shape, or form with how it deduces the, high points on the music and things of that nature. Irrelevant. It's awesome. It's really inherently a great visual spectacle to behold, and it's very nice to just sit back and enjoy the components of it that, you don't necessarily have to undertake, especially if you're just watching it yourself. right? You don't have to sync up your own music or anything. You see someone else took the time, love, and attention to detail to set up these decorations, or write an entire monographing of lectin, and make custom 3D printed buttons, get these decorations and set up and everything like that ready for Halloween, right? What was that, huh? And so anyhow, you got all of this stuff that is going on. All you have to do is visualizely, or hear someone describe it to you, as far as what you take in. Okay, the people that go out and set up entire displays that you could sit and look at for, in essence, almost an hour or so, and notice other key little specific details. Okay, you can go through and see that it's like, oh man, there is in that little graveyard over there an extra little skeleton arm. Or look, they have a whole Beetlejuice display or set up over in that little area there. Okay, like, people have so many loves and tastes, especially when you start mixing in horror rooms and kind of horror movies and cultures and icons, Jason's, Freddy's, Chucky's, right? You get all of the iconics. Okay, Wizard of the Hood. Okay, all of the big, kind of massive hits and successes that people have known. The Hellraisers, okay? You have all of the iconics, okay? You go, you take them, and you just have so many displays, so many ways to portray them and have them, conveyed to those that see what your actual interests are. Obviously, this dude loves Friday the 13th. Look at his display. Or he's obviously a Beetlejuice fan, or he wouldn't have Beetlejuice. Or maybe they have, all sorts of more kind of friendly Halloween stuff there because it's more Disney related and toned down. Maybe these folks are more DIY because they have their own setup. They made their own dummies, their own scenes, their own little things hanging from trees, ghouls, goblins, graveyards, ghosties, whatever. However you chalk it up, however you go about it, the components are there for you to definitely visually take it in on those, or from those who, take the time to set it all up or display their likes and interests or participations, things of that nature. It's a nice little change of pace, man. To each his own, let them all do their own. And there's some fantastic offerings to experience, to, behold, to see. And there's some very, very, very remarkable things on the market that are offered, up to and including all of the little custom things you can have for your costumes within themselves. Fantastic, all right? Anyhow, where do we lie within our go juice? About here. We better drink fast so we can get the hell out of here. Because believe you me, if there's one thing we don't like doing, it's working more than we need to. And there's one thing we need to work on, it's probably working more. So, maybe we should stay longer. Or go and show back up to McDonald's and say we didn't quit after all. We weren't serious then. We know it was a couple weeks ago, but we were serious about going on that vacation and or break and writing some books and trying to get a Kickstarter, right? Sorry, McDonald's, for us to want to not utilize your reimbursement for college. We already went to college. You just need to make burgers for a minute, and we need a break to write the book, make custom 3D printed buttons, right? No, go back to McDonald's, make my burger. Doesn't matter. Too late now. Or it's not. We'll just show back up. Like, hey, we didn't quit. You just didn't put us on the schedule right. So we schedule ourselves, right? Of course we do. Fantastic. Anyhow, where were we? Anything of importance? Nah, probably not. We got a little bit of go juice. Feel free to throw anything in the chat to hold us up at all. Otherwise, we will be disembarking and leaving at our own leisure, as we would do anyway. You see, when you have dibs on the base floor level, the best of the worst, as we call Daryl Dixon dibs, right? Best of the worst, ground floor level of the internet. We don't have to live up to any kind of expectations, things of that nature. Okay? You might be saying, it's a loophole. No, you have to abide by us. No, we call Daryl Dixon dibs being the best of the worst. Doesn't get better. That's why we had to peddle wares now. We had to write books so that we had an equitable exchange. People don't want to just give us money for being Daryl Dixon of the dibs, right? They need to buy crap that they can give as gifts to people around holidays, birthdays, reasons for buying, stuff. We got books, stuff of that nature. You can get yourself a custom 3D printed button, signed copy on, the Kickstarter of this go round, whatnot, whatever. Offerings are there. Sometimes you need to buy crap. So there you go. You got a lot of offerings. We actually, one of our buddies, man, he wrote a little kid's book. Well, not like a kid's book, but like a little older kid's book. One of the chapter books, they called it, and such. So, yeah, we recently published a book, with him. We do that now, right? Now, usually we charge people money, and believe you me, he let us stay on his couch and he's fed us some, so we wrote his book for him. But, it's like a ghostwriter, but not. It doesn't matter. We can do that now. It just costs money. So, believe you me, will it come with typos? Well, of course it probably will. But that's beside the point. You get what you pay for, right? It's the best of the worst. Okay, so it's like, I want to write a book and I want these characters in it. Okay, yeah, we do that for you. Okay, we can get it. We can get it up on Amazon. Of course, we get all the proprietary rights. You gotta seed those upon submission for it, because you get what you pay for. Okay, we gotta get something off it. But your characters, your plot, we can write all that. Not a problem. We'll get you, I don't know, at least 7,000, 9,000, 10,000 words. It depends on how much you want to pay for. Yeah. No AI at all involved. Yeah, we don't mess with that. AI's for chumps. We don't need AI to write books. They write shitty books. Yeah, except for the good ones, which are better than ours sometimes. Yeah, maybe not. Probably not. Yeah, if it's by AI, it's not. There's a flaw in there. Believe you me, somewhere. Or it should have a flaw if it doesn't. Yeah, shows you that it's not authentic or good. No, typos suck. Yeah. We get most of them. Yeah, the longer works. Once you hit over 20,000 words, if you're proofreading that shit on your own, man, sorry, you're gonna miss some stuff on occasion. And we miss some stuff, but we had to proofread our own stuff because that's the way that the world goes. When no one wants you to pay you to make shit, but you make it anyway because you tell the world, no, we're not showing back up to work at McDonald's for this weekend that we said we just didn't feel like coming in, and fine, then don't come in at all. No, we took you up on that. And we wrote books. Now we just got to sell them. Who wants to buy books? If you don't know anyone who buys books, maybe someone who publishes books properly. Oh, we got all sorts of rights we can make deals with and such on. Pow. Someone's got to know a publisher out there. Come on, Internet! No, you just don't want to help us. You just like us to fail. That's fine, Internet. That's fine. Scoff, if you will. Laugh at our endeavors. Point out that, yes, we do have typos that we have found that we will fix. Can't do anything with it yet upon publication. We got to wait for some time. But look, there's words and everything. Eh? There's stuff. There's stuff here that's you can read and everything. Okay? Look, we even have some of our notes and things of that nature. Oh, fantastic! You might be saying like, no, it's not fantastic. It's super fantastic. Oh, I love it. Oh, you read it? Thanks. We knew ones of you had read it, but, look at the back. It's reverses backwards. Do you even philosophy, bro? What kind of philosophy books put that on it? Psh, super awesome ones. You know why? This ain't your regular run-of-the-mill philosophy. It's that advanced meta-philosophy, okay? This is that internet philosophy. Okay? This is from the modern future age. You can only get that one place. Amazon.com and or Kickstarter. So ironically, you can get it two places. That's fine. That's fine. Real funny. Anyhow, where were we? Oh, yes, finishing our go juice so we can literally go. All right, well, keep in mind, if you want to get out of here before us, now's a good chance, because we will be leaving very soon, because we're done. Not with our go juice, though. Ironically, we're not done, so we're still here for a sec. Make sure we don't miss ones of chats coming in. That would be bad, right? Miss our ones a fan. Hi, Mom. Excellent. Halloween, Kickstarter, yard decorations. Well, that was a bonus topic. Talk about getting your money's worth of free content, right? You didn't have to pay for any of it. It's just free. It's just hanging out, right? Welcome, welcome, ones of all. So the point is that we've covered some bonus content that we didn't plan on covering, stuff that we didn't plan on talking about. Okay? You might be saying, oh, we wish you didn't talk about anything at all. Believe you me, sometimes dead airspace is the best airspace. Excellent. And sometimes it's the worst of the airspace. You never know. You can go either way, really. Can't really plan on it one way, shape, or form. But what you can plan on is that we've run out of go juice, so you better have something really interesting in the comments to keep us around if you're just joining us now. Feel free to put it in there. We will give you ones of seconds to type. Hopefully you can type more than ones of seconds a comment of time. Commence with your making fun of. Yes, yes. We have endured it all. Or not. It matters not. But, no. We have finished our Go Juice. We have talked Halloween. We've talked bonus Halloween decorations. And we've peddled our Kickstarter wares. Signed copy, custom 3D printed button, other stuff you can buy on Amazon of the .com. Search Shyzalosophy Books. And believe you me, we do appreciate any considerations and things of that nature. We'll never put this show behind a paywall because, A, no one wants to pay for it anyway. And B, we just will never put it behind a paywall. Refuse to. No separate Patreon, no subscribe of the star, no getting people to have to pay extra to see same content, same individual content creator. You either like it or you don't. Most of the times you don't. Fair enough. Fair enough. But the point is that when you do, when you realize that maybe, just maybe, in all the chaos and all the craziness that's offered, you really do inherently just want something on in the background where someone does the talking for you for a change, right? Where you can just kind of drown out those alternative thoughts, maybe days, undertakings, things of that nature, and you just inherently want to just not have anything to do with the outside world. A lot of time it's easier. If you're cooking a meal or if you're, undertaking an endeavor where you want to just listen to something instead of, partake in having to pay attention or visually watch or anything like that, then, it's definitely one of the avenues that you want to pursue. So there are offerings and undertakings for everyone. Halloween offers the same with which it gives to those who undertake it. So, anyhow, that's all we got today because we're bored now and we finished our Go Juice. So, we don't need your subscription. We want your money. Downvote the shit out of this. Go to Kickstarter and give us $1. Get off our lawn.